Okay, this is session number 1
There
of
you go.
Retrieve with Samara. So what Liz is doing here, she's doing a motivational approach that involves shaping to a retrieve with a neutral item. We're not using a dumbbell because the sport that we do is PSA, which
There you
could
go.
be any random item. But if you were to do
Nice.
Schutzen or if you were to do AKC,
Nice.
there would be a specific item that you would have to retrieve, which is a dumbbell.
Nice.
Even if that's the case, you don't want to start with a dumbbell.
Right.
You want to get all the awkwardness and
There
all
you
the
go.
troubleshooting out of the way on a neutral item, and then clean it up and then transfer it to the dumbbell.
There you go.
In this case, we are using a pipe. It's not a
Yeah.
toy. We don't want it to be a toy. We don't want the dog to just grab the item and run with it all over the place. We want the dog to think. We're not giving her any feedback other than letting her know she's right, she's on track, or she's not. And how we're doing this is by clicking when she gives us any sort of behavior that is an approximation to a retrieve. This could be looking at it, walking toward it, touching it, mouthing it, etc.
Nice.
So this is session number 1, her very first session, and she's doing a great job. Liz's timing is excellent.
There you go.
So here the
Go ahead,
dog
mouth.
almost mouthed it, so we're gonna give her a jackpot. And that's the end of session 1. Now this is session 2. Session 2 took place a few hours later. We started with the item in her hand, and then she put it down on the ground. This is more of an indirect approach. And same concept. Any sort of behavior toward a retrieve item is going to be rewarded. What we're doing here is we're turning the retrieve item into a target, and we want a lot of reward history with the item. Once there is a lot of reward history, a lot of anticipation, the dog will be more inclined to grabbing it. And because it is being rewarded with food, the dog is not interested in just grabbing it, playing with it, chewing on it. You don't want that to happen. If we just gave this dog that pipe, she would definitely grab it and start chewing on it. This is the type of dog she is. But we don't want that. We want the dog to be more methodical about it. So she's thinking about it, and she knows that there is a reward for touching it or interacting with it in any fashion. So for session number 2, this is looking really well.
And it's utilizing the dog.
Timing is very important. You want the dog to be clicker conditioned.
Perfect.
Doing it without a clicker is possible, but there's just so much of a gap that could happen. With the clicker, we can mark the moment in time. The dog has to be clicker conditioned. The dog has to understand what the clicker means. Again, this is us wrapping it up. So if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll be posting more updates on the retrieve with Samara.